Hello, good morning students. We are back with your social science classes and we will discuss today a new chapter that is in your history, new ideas. Okay, so open your milestone book and this chapter that we are going to discuss is that new ideas means after the Mahajanapadas, their 6th century, after that time what will happen? Okay, new ideas means what? That how the things are changing. As we have seen that caste system is too rigid in the later Vedic age, and after that how the things are changing. Okay, how the people feel so suffocated in that, and based on that how the new ideas are emerging. Okay, how the new thoughts are emerging. They come to the people's mind and how they develop. Okay, every surrounding in that area after the later Vedic age, okay, that ending of the later Vedic age. Now what we will see that in the last chapter that we have learned that the Vedas, about the Vedas we have done. Now the end of the Vedas, okay, that how the sacrifice will be performed, okay, everything will be and the prayers, how they will means being so that used, so that being people in what way, what process, okay, said that all these Vedic hymns that will be mentioned in the, that was mentioned in the Upanishad. Okay, so from there what we can see that Upanishad, basically that in the last chapter we have also done that Upanishad is a Sanskrit term, so which means sitting near a reverend guru or a teacher. Okay, and after that they are ancient texts in the form of a dialogue between the teacher and a student. The Upanishad attached prime importance to the attainment of the Brahma Janam, that how enlightened knowledge, okay, that Brahma Janam as the greatest means to the ultimate end of the individual's life. So from here, Upanishad. Okay, Upanishad means, or you can say it as the end of the Vedas. Okay, it is also known as end of the means Vedanta. Means ending. How means people should live their life. Okay, everything that in what way they will get the ultimate, you can say moksha basically, that in this Upanishad it is mentioned. Okay. It is particularly the end of the Vedas. There are the old books. Now, this Upanishad, from where you can say that who have written this, from the means those who are the gurus. Okay, they will transform it orally first of all, and after that it is written. Okay, so Upanishad, students are sitting in front of the guru and they will receive it. Orally they will just guru was those who are there, they just telling it, and the students they will listen to it, and based on that they do their everyday work, okay, everyday life, and how, and the ultimate thing there in that case is that how to get an enlightened knowledge, how they will get the moksha. Okay, so this thing is mentioned in Upanishad. Okay, now it is clearly stated that anyone, irrespective of his or his or her social status, social caste, okay, could attain salvation. Salvation means, here is the term. Salvation means, you can say it as a complete devotion to the God. Complete devotion to the God. Okay, complete devotion. How a person could means ultimately they will devote himself or herself to the God, so that they can get moksha. Okay, that all the sufferings in the life should be ending. Okay, that there will be no birth again. So everything will be mentioned in this Upanishad, that everybody can attain the salvation. Now, and here's how they will do. That process is mentioned in the Upanishad. Vedanta, so this is, and they can achieve, okay, after all this salvation they do, people will do, they can achieve the Brahmajanam. Therefore, no birth will be not there. Okay, so birth they are taken as a main source of all the sorrows or the misery in the life of any particular people. So Vedanta is another name given to the Upanishads as they came at the end of the Vedas. Okay, so this is about the Upanishad. But what will happen? So this Upanishad, you can say, as it is written in Sanskrit, people are not able to understand it because it is the Sanskrit is not learned by the common people. So people are facing many problems. So what will happen? Based on that, new religions are emerging. Okay, as the Brahmanism is too much dominant in that time period, so what will happen? People are feel very resented. They are not connected with the God. Okay, and naturally, what happens? So new type of religion that started to emerge at the end of that Vedic period. Okay, so what are the two basic religion that emerges because of this? Because one is that one is the Buddhism, and another one is the Jainism. Buddhism and Jainism. Okay, one by one we will discuss Buddhism and Jainism. These are the main religion that started to develop after the, you can say, 6th century in that time period. Now, the reason behind why they developed. Okay, you underline that first of main reason is Brahmanism was very full of rites and rituals which were very expensive for the common man. So you don't use it as a, don't write, means last class also, last exam also I have seen that many of the students have written Hinduism. No, this term basically you write it as a Brahmanism. Why? Because this total religion is dominated by the Brahmins only. Okay, so that's why whatever the rituals, rites, the ceremonies, whatever it is done in that time period, basically done with the whatever the Brahmins are thinking. Okay, at that time period. So we termed it as a Brahmanism. Okay, now so at that time this Buddhism and Jainism, why they developed? Basically because we have seen that it is the Brahmanism is full of rites, rituals, sacrifices, and which become what, very costly also. Common people can't afford it. Next, you can say also the caste system that is so rigid at that time period that the lower caste, those who are the Shudras are there, they are not able to perform, or you can say they are not able to get any type of right to attend any social functions or religious ceremonies. So what then happens? That will, they feel that sideline. Okay, so naturally what happened? So new type of religion. Okay, so these are the two factors. Next factor, you can say all religions were conducted by only the Brahmins, which make them very powerful. The Brahmins took advantage of this and exploit the other caste. The common man could not understand the Vedic texts as they were written in Sanskrit. Thus, they had to depend on the Brahmins for the interpretation. Whatever interpretation, whatever language written in that, they are not able to understand it. So naturally, what they are not feel connected. Okay, as they whatever translation is there, they have to go to any the Brahmins for that interpretation. Next, all these factors made the common people lose their interest, okay, in religion. It was in this atmosphere that several new unorthodox religious sects, religious divisions that we are seeing were born. So in that, two important prominent are there. One is Buddhism and one is Jainism. Okay, now next after that, why this is basically this two religion they are emerging, because they feel here equally. Okay, they are not being segregated based on their caste. Okay, they don't feel sidelined. So basically Buddhism and Jainism, these are the two prominent religious sects that emerged in that time period. Now next here we will see that how this Buddhism and Jainism are emerging. Okay, what were their main teaching, who are the main leaders, you can say who are the main followers, okay, or from where this founded this Buddhism, who founded Jainism, the similarities, dissimilarities that we will discuss in this chapter. Now first come to the Buddhism. Buddhism, that story from where we can know about it is the story of the Siddhartha. Now who is this Siddhartha? Okay, the story starts from here. That Siddhartha was, you can say that Buddhism, who the founder of it was the Siddhartha. Later on he known as a, you can say that one founded by the Gautam Buddha. Okay, the name, the first one, he started only the name is not original, means that Gautam Buddha, later on they will, after the enlightenment, okay, he got that name as a Buddha. Okay, before that his name was what? Siddhartha. Now the story here, how he founded this Buddhism, this religion, that first you founded by, here I can write, Gautama Buddha. In 6th century BCE. Okay, 6th century BCE. 6th century BCE. Okay, the founder of the Buddhism. Next you can say, now he was the Sakya prince. Sakya is the name of the tribe, clan, whatever you can say. So he was a Sakya prince born around in Lumbini in 563 BCE. Okay, he in the Mahajanapada, name of that Mahajanapada is the Koshala. Now what happened near the Kapilavastu, at the border, now present day near the border of the Nepal. Now the Gautam Buddha, he was originally named was the Siddhartha. Basically he lived in a all comfortable life throughout the childhood. Okay? Throughout his childhood he lived in a palace and he always with the royal comforts. Okay, he married Princess Yashodhara and his son was born to them. He was named Rahul. Despite all his prosperity and success, Siddhartha was very unhappy. Now, reason behind this unhappiness started from here. So, what we have seen that the Siddhartha's father, okay, he in the birth time, at that time only, those are the saints. They just forecast the Siddhartha's the future, that he will go for, you can say that he will live on his comfort life and comfortable life, and he will either become an ascetic. Okay. So for that, Siddhartha's father, he just, you can say that he started to he married he forced him to marry, you can say, to Princess Yashodhara, and they are having a son also. But still, after doing this, Siddhartha was not happy. Now what happened? So one day Siddhartha, he just visited to his garden or nearby area, and what he will see, he was in his chariot and he saw a aged man. Okay, 3-4 things he had saw in that time period. In that time, what we have seen, that first one is an aged man. Next one, a little later, he saw a sick man. So this shivering with fever. Never before he has seen this anyone ill. Yet he soon learned that sickness was common amongst people. Next, he also saw a corpse. Okay, corpse being carried by the cremation ground, followed by weeping mourners. So these are the 4 things that we have seen. Now what we will see, that Siddhartha discovered that every person had to die and someday. So all these things he did not see from his childhood. Okay, that a person may die, a person may fall ill, or the aged. Okay, that a person may be aged. Okay, this thing he have never seen. So what will happen on the 4th side? These are the main thing we have seen. After that, we have also seen a ascetic. Ascetic means a saint, you can say, who was traveling through that road, and he was wore a yellow robe, looking peaceful and calm. Now the thing arises here, that how a person, okay, how that person are weeping, okay, weeping mourners are there. How he thought that how this can be possible? Okay, so this is the thing. Now what will happen? Siddhartha was fascinated by his expression. How anyone could be so unaffected by all the sadness around him? He wondered. Thus Siddhartha decided to abandon his comfortable life and left the palace at the age of 30 in search of finding the way to end the suffering. So this is the story that he started to move, okay, from his, just started to think that he just left his palace at the age of 30. Now what happened? Here the enlightenment set. Now when he left his home, what will he see? He wandered for many of the years, okay, here and there. He also joined the ascetic groups. There he just do meditation for 40 days continuous without water, food, anything, okay. Then but still he was unhappy. Now naturally what happens? He was dissatisfied. Now one day he was sitting in about near about 35 years of old. He was sitting beneath the peepal tree at Bodh Gaya, okay, Bihar, and began to meditate. Now after 49 days of the deep meditation, he realized the truth. He understood why there was so much suffering and unhappiness in the world and what man can do to overcome it. He attained enlightenment and now called as a Buddha. Buddha means the enlightened one. Okay, enlightened one. Now he attained enlightenment, and after that what happens? He started to preach. Okay, that he traveled here and there, like first Sarnath, then Varanasi, near to the Varanasi. He first gave his sermon. Okay, that preach. Okay, that how people should live their life, in what way. He started to preach and teachings, give teachings to the common people. Now the main thing that he preaches in the common language, okay, that what people will understand, not the Sanskrit. As Upanishad, there is what? They use Sanskrit language which will be only understood and written by the Brahmins. But this Gautam Buddha, he started to do it, okay, to start preaching, teaching in the common language, that is a Prakrit. Okay, so common people will easily understand it, and naturally what happens? They feel they started to attract. Okay, that common people started to attract that thing, and many people, they become his followers. Soon these followers formed the Sangha. Sangha means association. Okay, or the Buddhist order. With time, the order was started to increase. Next, you can say at the age of 80, he Kushinagar Buddha died, and before his death, he told his followers not to look for the new leaders, as the doctrine that he preached should be their guide. Okay, whatever he preached, that will be their guide. Don't go for other, you can say, doctrine. Okay, not other followers. Now, they were to rely on themselves and be their own lambs. Now, Buddhism attracted many followers like Emperor Ashoka. He was very much influenced by the Buddha. So what he have done? He made many of the stupas. Okay, that Sanchi stupa. Okay, it is a very important example of the monument. Next, you can say, he helped in that Ashoka. He helped in spreading the this Buddhism along with the Sri Lanka, then also to the Southeast Asia, many areas. Okay, so this is the thing. Now what we will do? Those are the men and women. Those who are there, they are need to take a permission from either, you can say, their to join in the Sangha, permission from their husband or from their home. Okay, they need to take the permission, and they led the life of the ascetic and begged for food. The men were called bhikkhu and the women were called bhikkhuni. So these are the main thing. Now what are the basic teachings? Okay, basic teachings of Buddha. Basic teachings. Buddha, what he will teach, what he was teaching, that world is full of suffering. The main cause of suffering is desire. Whatever suffering we are having, that is because of the desire that we have. Next, to overcome suffering, one must give up their desires. If desires are given up, nirvana can be attained. Total peace can be attained if desire is not there. Now, according to Buddha, if people could behave in a certain way, they can easily they can attain salvation. Okay, they can end up their sorrows and suffering. Now, what are their eightfold paths? That is right action, right exercise, right meditation, right observation, right determination, right livelihood, right memory, and right speech. Okay. Now next after that, so other than that, Buddha preached that the main thing that you can say that Buddha, he totally you can say that social divisions are wrong. Okay? He totally abandoned it. That based on the caste, people should not be segregated. Okay. Next you can say he also preached non-violence. Okay, non-violence or ahimsa. So what is this main thing that you can say as first point, that social divisions were not, social divisions are wrong. Were wrong. And next one you can say that non-violence. Non-violence or ahimsa. Okay, so this is the main thing. Next, Buddhist literature about, if you see, there are mainly three that baskets, or you can say three books. Okay, that literature. What we can see, that first one is the Sutta Pitaka. Next one is Vinaya Pitaka, and the last one is the Abhidhamma Pitaka. So these are the three literature of the Buddhism. Okay. So next, they were written. They all three are written in the Pali or Prakrit language. Pali and Prakrit language, which is the common language of the people. Okay. Next is about the, you can say now, basic, from where you can know about all this origin of Buddhism, the Jataka tales. Okay. Also the another source is the Jataka tales. That will tell us about all the life of the Buddha. Okay. Jainism later on we will do. Next is architecture of Buddhism that we can see is many monasteries are being there, which is known as viharas. People live in there. Basically, they are the caves. Okay, previously they are the caves. Mainly, people are living in the caves. Okay, those who are there. Next, they started to live in monasteries or viharas for their residence. After that, you can say the monasteries become the center of education, and as a monk, you can say they taught and preached there. Various stupas are being made. Okay, one of the most important stupa is the made by the Ashoka, Emperor Ashoka at Sachi. Okay, this is about the thing. Next day we will learn about the Jainism, the story of Mahavira, the teaching of Jainism, okay, Jainism text, okay, literature spread, how the Jainism is spreading, decline, and the difference between Jainism and Buddhism. Okay, this is for today's class. Thank you all of you. Have a nice day.